Welcome to the show. I'm your host Don Toole, and this on today's show we're going to talk about what happened during the week that was. And as we all know, this week it was a huge week. The Super Bowl was this week, and it showcased two very good teams. As we had the Packers going against the Steelers, and in which the Packers won. Now, my Super Bowl pick was Pittsburgh Steelers, and I believe that they would obviously win. But that was not the case, as we saw. Aaron Rodgers was named the MVP of the Super Bowl. He was brilliant, which I thought he actually played a very, very good game, and he, I think rose above everybody's expectations this year. Uh, from him being cocky with the Super Bowl belt, that whole thing. I really honestly think that Aaron Rodgers, you know, proved me wrong. Obviously, I knew the winner of the Eagles and Packers game would be the one to go to the Super Bowl, uh, and obviously the Packers went to the Super Bowl. I didn't think that the Packers would win the Super Bowl because they didn't have enough experience. But obviously, the Steelers weren't prepared enough to face this Packers defense, especially because this defense was all over Ben Roethlisberger and really just made him struggle the entire game, all game long. As I mentioned, Aaron Rodgers was named the MVP. He had the 115.5 passer rating, which is pretty good. He had 3 touchdowns, threw for 304 yards, and like I said, he was brilliant. He just went to work on this Steelers defense. Obviously, if you look in the week's past games, you do not see the Steelers defense struggling the way they did, and to see them struggle like this, it was pretty weird to see. Both defenses are very good, so you don't expect these guys to struggle like the way they did. Uh, what's next for football? Obviously, they have to get a new collective bargaining agreement together. There was some talks this past weekend that the two sides met. Nothing official came about. So, will there be a lockout next season? I'm going to say no. There will not be a lockout next season, based on two reasons. The two sides, they want to play football, but they're kind of separated on what they want to do. And I honestly think that they will get this figured out because as we move on near draft time, there really will need to be a collective bargaining agreement in place, or teams probably can't sign the draft picks. So it kind of leaves a lot of uncertainty to what the teams could do from then. Uh, like I said, the two sides met this weekend. There was nothing that came out to be reported that they actually got something done. They're close, but they're not there yet. So that's actually what I took out from this meeting. Now, moving on, earlier Sunday, Tom Brady was named the MVP of the NFL. He beat out a strong group of players, including Michael Vick. It was really 1-2 between Vick and Brady, the race was. And Tom Brady was the first unanimous vote for NFL MVP. He got 50 out of 50 votes, and which really told this type of season Tom Brady had. He really had a coming out season this year. As we know, he's brilliant, but he really did play very good this year. Uh, Also on Saturday, the Hall of Fame class was announced, and headlining this Hall of Fame class is Marshall Faulk and Prime Time. And everybody you have to know who Marshall Faulk is. He was a great runner for the Rams. I believe he's in the top 5 in rushing in the NFL to this day. And he had a great career with the St. Louis Rams. Really came into form once he got to the Rams and won that championship with them. And another good guy who's in the Hall of Fame class this year is primetime Deion Sanders. As we all know, Deion was a very, very, very great player in the NFL, and he has to be one of the best players, I honestly think, to ever play this game of football. And for him to get into the Hall of Fame class, I personally think it is a great job on his part, well deserved. for Deion Sanders. Another member of the Hall of Fame class is tight end Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, we all know, had a great career with the Denver Broncos. Now, Shannon was a guy who obviously is not typical. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is, I believe, his second or third year on the ballot. Was he going to get in? Yes. But I think Shannon was really kind of, I guess, underrated as he got older for the things he did in Denver. As we all know, he was on the teams with John Elway as they won those 3 championships. So, great job for those guys for getting to the next level and getting in the Hall of Fame. Now, there was a report out early this morning that Jon Gruden was in town with the Eagles talking to be the new head coach. Obviously, during the past couple of hours, those rumors have been squashed. The Eagles have released a report saying, no, this is not, at all what happened. This is just a rumor. And the question is, will Jon Gruden coach the Eagles? And my answer is, I don't know. Typically, as we have seen, the Eagles are a team that really doesn't give a sense of what they're doing. Even Andy Reid has done this in the past. He said one thing, and the team does completely the opposite. Like this past summer, for instance, the Donovan McNabb fiasco. Andy Reid says, Donovan's our quarterback. What happens? A couple of weeks later, Donovan's traded. So, will Jon Gruden be the next head coach? I don't know. I do know that Jon Gruden wants to be a head coach on the team again. But as we've heard earlier this year, he is happy with his job at ESPN. But now, the question is, though, once he gets to the right mix of people, will you turn that down? Now, obviously, there has been a lot of reports on Twitter that he was here. And there's also been a couple reports from a couple of sources saying that, no, he was at the Super Bowl game. Well, I don't know what to believe right now, but I can tell you just stay tuned for this because maybe he won't be the head coach of the Eagles, but he may get a key position on the staff. So keep a lookout for that because we, as reported, Marty Mornhinweg could be out there, interviewing for head coaching position. His name came up several times during the playoffs as potential for him to go out and become head coach somewhere else. Moving on to Phillies baseball. The Phillies pitchers and catchers report this Sunday. Yes, this Sunday, Phillies baseball is finally back. And I want to talk about a few key position battles happening this spring training. For one, the right fielder position. As you all know, Dominic Brown, Ben Francisco, Ross Gload are in the hunt to become the starting right fielder. I will also tell you not to key out John Mayberry. Now, Mayberry has been inconsistent since he's been brought up to the major leagues and was sent back down. But I can tell you this: I personally think Dominic Brown will win this battle. It's going to be a hard-fought battle for him to win because he has the likes of Francisco, but Ross Gload is on the outside looking in at as far as right now is concerned. Ruben Amaro has talked about how he has been inconsistent, Ross Gload has, in playing every day today, right field or in the outfield for that matter. So, it's kind of hard to see Ross Gload being our starting right fielder. I can think what will happen is that Dominic Brown and Ben Francisco will be a platoon role. Now, that means that they will play on different days depending on who the pitcher is. Now, Dom Brown may pitch one day where a right-hander pitches, then Francisco may play when a left-hander pitches. It depends on the pitcher. That possibility is very likely if Dom Brown kind of struggles this spring training, but look out for that. Another position battle to keep in tune is who will replace Chad Durbin as the middle relief pitcher. We all know that Ryan Madson did a terrific job a couple of years ago as the middle relief pitcher for the Phillies, but now he is the team's setup pitcher to Brad Lidge. This is going to be a key battle because they didn't bring back Chad Durbin. They brought back Jose Contreras and J.C. Romero, two guys who struggled a little bit last season as the season wore on. JC struggled last season after coming off of an injury. So it will be a key battle for the middle relief position because they're without Chad Durbin, who was the MLB's most innings pitched for a reliever last season. So it's going to be hard to see who will win that middle relief position. Now, as we go into the NBA, there was a report out this past weekend that Carmelo trade to the Knicks may actually happen. There was a report that it could happen actually before the trade deadline actually takes place. Now, I can tell you this right now. Melo wants to play in New York. The Knicks want Carmelo to play in New York. But I can tell you this, that the Nuggets are going to want somebody back from the Knicks. And the Knicks may not be willing to give them the package they want. So this deal could be a hit or miss, but honestly, I think this deal will eventually fall through. Don't think Carmelo is a good fit for the Knicks. As you see, Amari Stoudemire is there. I will say they do need the Knicks a good player to step in and help Amari Stoudemire. I was at the Sixers game this past Friday, and I've seen that Danilo Gallinari, obviously, he can't really be the full player that Amari needs on the team. Raymond Felton is a subpar point guard. He's not the best. He's okay, but he's still subpar. Those type of things worry me as far as the Knicks are concerned. Amari struggled against the Sixers last Friday, and it was kind of sad to see him struggle. He only scored 21 points during that game, and it was very tough to see him play. He sat on the bench for part of the game because you can see the team was not clicking the way they should be. So the Knicks need something to happen. They need something to happen fast. Or I see the Sixers catching up to them for that sixth spot, and they may have to play the Miami Heat or the Boston Celtics if the Knicks don't get it figured out. Now, this upcoming Wednesday, Widener will host a whiteout at the Schwartz Center. We're asking everybody to come out, as Widener's athletic department invites everyone to take part in the Widener whiteout during its doubleheader this Wednesday, February 9th, against Alvernia. The women's team will play at 6 o'clock, and the men's team will play at 8 o'clock. All fans in attendance will receive a free, keyword free, Widener Whiteout t-shirt. Like I said before, the women's contest begins at 6, and the men's play at 8 p.m. That's going to do it for this week's edition of 2 Cents. I am Don Toole, or also known as Coach Toole to others, and this is the end of our show. Enjoy the rest of your week.